Hey guys, Richard Ryden's room here, out in my garden, so nowhere near my room, which is very soon to be Donnie's room. My wife's set to give birth any day now, which is going to be great, so I'm going to continue making my reviews of my various books and things other places. So yeah, it's actually one of my first outside ones, so there's a helicopter going around, and my talking has lured my ferret over. Maybe he'll come by soon. The dog on the left will be out soon, I'm sure. Right then, so, onto it. So, as everyone knows, this is Star Wars Fate of the... this is like a tie-in to Star Wars Fate of the Jedi, the Lost Tribe of the Sith book. So, as everyone knows, I hated Legacy of the Force. Spoilers everything up to that book series, well, the finale, Invincible. Invincible, kind of what Amazon called that. But yeah, he hated it what it did to Jason. I hated that another war broke out 10 years after, like, the Yuuzhan Vong War. Jason, Tahiri, how they were wrecked. Jaina's probably, like, the best character in it. Well, it took ages to get going. Something I hear changes a lot of Fate of the Jedi, but yeah, damage I did in that is unbelievable. I think I've seen interviews with Troy Denning saying it was a choice of Jason become more Qui-Gon than Qui-Gon, or more Darth Vader than Darth Vader, and he picked that because of what happened, and I just don't buy it. And what also bugged me about Legacy of Force is the jump 10 years, well, 5 years if you include the Killick trilogy. That's one more. You miss out on Jason's 5 years of discovery, where he meets other Force groups, learns new things, etc. And I just thought, why jump ahead to another trilogy? Everything led to New Jedi Order, including like young adult books, quite nicely. They didn't like rush it, and then you get like this cool 5-year war, 19 books, and then the other book that tie into it here, and then they just jump ahead. I get it; it's peaceful. There's not as much bad stuff going on, but we've missed out on Jason's story. We missed what Jaina gets up to. We've got the other characters like Zek and Zek and Jag. The two guys tied to Jaina's story, but stuff they could have been doing. Because of course, we've got the Imperial Remnant. So much it was just scrapped to jump ahead to Legacy of the Force, which I hated. Thankfully, that's not such the case with this. They did Millennium Falcon a year later, and then this 2 years later, I believe. But yeah, anyway, I thought, as much as I hated Legacy of Force, actually, I didn't give up on the series, but I left it after Sacrifice for a while. One of my favourite YouTubers basically did the same thing, but with a much bigger weight, so I did exactly the same. Didn't want to tarnish my holiday with the follow-ups to Sacrifice. Admittedly, Inferno was a lot better, but I still read others before it, so yeah, I don't want to, as I say, bad memories. Yeah, anyway, read all of those, and I wanted Fate of Jedi next. I thought it can't be as bad as Legacy of the Force. Some people think it's better, some people think it's worse, some people think it's as bad, but I figure Fate of Jedi should be good. And eventually picked them all up, nearly half in paperback and the rest in hardback. First time I ever used Facebook Marketplace, got a really good deal from the seller on there, which is pretty cool. But I actually thought, I heard that this book, so Lost Tribe of Sith, enhances Fate of the Jedi, even though it starts way before. If you look in the timeline, Lost Tribe of Sith is part of Old Republic 5,000 years before A New Hope. So this does that, and there's 8 books in. So 6 books or 9 books? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books in there, and they all cover a lot of time. Obviously, they still end way before Fate of the Jedi, but I thought it'd be a good bit of background reading, and I hope so. I'm on book 2 of Fate of the Jedi series right now, which goes into like the backstory. It's basically 2 years before, but there's a lot of stuff in there I've picked up on which is enhanced for this. So yeah, basically this is a mini review for these. So really good story. I actually asked this for my birthday, and it basically put me off reading these for ages, but it was definitely worth the wait. And how nice it is, doesn't it have the Legends logo on, which is pretty rare, especially for a brand new book. But yeah, I never read these. So John Jackson Miller, great author, wrote A New Dawn, and then also wrote Kenobi, which is absolutely great, and what me and a lot of people said should have been what the Kenobi TV series was based on. But yeah, so you got this Lost Tribe of Sith book, miniature stories in there. Starts with Precipice, the oldest one, ends on Pandemonium, the newest and the biggest one. It's quite mad. These books were all about, the first 8 about 30 pages each, and then Pandemonium starts at page 257 and ends at 385. So 130 pages. It's like really, really big, but it definitely made sense. So I'm not going to go into every chapter or anything, and I've heard about the release for this. Like the first 8 were ebooks, quite short. But then by the time book part 9 came out, I keep thinking it's 8, not 9 parts in it. Let me look at that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, it was 9. 9, much like Legacy and Fate, 9 parts. But yeah, I heard what happened though. There were ebooks. I don't know how much they cost, whether they were free or cost anything. And then the final one was all merged into this. Released with this, and then they merged the others. And apparently, if it's true, the only way you could read Pandemonium was by buying this with all the others in. And that feels really unfair. I mean, whether you'd pay, it's probably worse if you did pay, but let's say you paid for the first 8, and suddenly it's like, oh, cool, 9's on its way, I better read that. Oh yeah, it's not an ebook, it's not free or the same price, you've got to pay and get the others. But what if I read the others? I don't care, you've got to pay to get it. So I'd have been quite mad in that position. It's a bit like when bands release greatest hits CDs and you got all the songs. Oasis spring to mind. When they release a greatest hits album, I had almost every one of theirs, so there's no point. But also you don't have to do it. But sometimes they put 1 or 2 songs in there. But at least you can still buy those. Back in the old days, buy a CD single, download them. Now you stream them, YouTube, Spotify, etc., whatever. But yeah, if it's true that the only way to get Pandemonium was to basically force you to buy all the others, that's pretty low, pretty shady. Thankfully that didn't really affect me because I'd never read any of them. And yeah, all I can say is really recommend it. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Old Republic. Not the biggest fan of me. I've never even finished KOTOR 1, but I read Revan, which was good. Read Deceived, which I thought was a lot better. And yeah, it's just not. It's not about the Old Republic. It's how far away it is, how different things are. And yeah, this is basically it. It's the Lost Tribe of Sith. They're a group of Sith Lords that just their ship crash lands on a planet, and its story is pretty much them over several thousand years getting to the point where they've effectively taken over the planet themselves, and it all eventually leads to this. Like the planets they're on is here, where I'm assuming Luke and Ben end up on that same planet, so if they just escape, but then they find a way off. I don't know the details, but something like that. But yeah, really recommended it, and it's nice that the first 8 are only about 30 pages each. It's good, like bite-sized reading, and I really recommend it. So obviously, it's not going to catch up to the main timeline. It's just very much in the past, but reading book 2 of Fate of Jedi, I'm picking up on things that were in there. So that's pretty much it. Really recommend the series, and whether you're just getting downloading the ebooks or getting like them like this, but I've got me this year 2024. The last one of these was 2012, so 12 years on, you can still buy it brand new. So yeah, really recommend it. So thanks for watching, and I'll upload the next vid in a moment. Like record the next vid in a moment. I don't know when they'll be uploaded.